Hey guys, how are you? I hope you guys are doing well. So this is the second video regarding co-op, and this is Priyadarshan.
Hello everyone.
He's the one who got the co-op, and like you can already know that in the third semester. So we're gonna ask him what special thing he have done, or like what was his background in India, and what different thing he have done to get the co-op. So let's start the video without wasting any time.
Hello everyone, I'm Priyadarshan. I did my bachelor's degree in Satyabama University from Chennai, post which I worked as a design engineer for Renault Nissan Technology and Business Center India, where I designed and developed interior trim parts, basically like plastic parts such as doors, pillar trims for vehicles. I worked with Renault Nissan for 3.5 years, after which I decided to pursue my Masters in Industrial Engineering here at University of Windsor.
Okay, so how many years experience you had before coming here?
In total 3 years and 4 months of experience I had.
In which, like,
in
which company or what kind?
Yeah, it was in the design field.
Okay.
I designed and developed interior trim parts using NXCAD. So apart from designing, we also took care of development.
Okay, how many years you said?
It's 3 years and 4 months.
3 years and 4 months.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. It's gonna help in your express entry too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully.
So now after that, like you have completed your bachelor's in which year?
I did my bachelor's in 2015. My bachelor's was in mechanical engineering actually.
Okay, after that you worked for 3 years,
Yeah.
and then you come here for 2019?
Yeah, 2019
intake,
Jan.
2020 is the same intake. So it will now talk about like the co-op. Like
Co-op,
first,
yeah.
when we apply, we got some questions
Got it, okay.
from university. So
Yeah.
what did you do in special those questions? So
Okay.
you got selected for co-op.
So actually when I was working with Nissan India, I had a senior colleague who was my mentor, who also applied at the University of Windsor 1 term ahead of me.
Okay.
And she got co-op. She did her mechanical with automotive option. So it was through her I got to know about this co-op option. So basically what she did was, once I applied for my Masters in Engineering program, I applied for co-op as well. I took her guidance actually. So she sent me the questionnaire what the university had asked her. So I was prepared in advance for what kind of answers. I had it all framed. So I just had to review it. So the questions will basically be like about your experience, your skill sets, all the projects what you have done, about your roles and responsibilities at your workplace, etc. So basically, since for master's students, it's just 1 term of co-op, whereas when you compare here with the bachelor students, they have 4 or 5 terms of co-op. So what the university expects is,
and you don't need to know the question before it was in his condition, but you got like enough time to answer those questions.
Yeah. So usually what happens is once you complete your application, they will generate you the co-op application as well. I think you will have fairly like 1 week's time to prepare your
and that's
co-op.
enough. It's just like 5 to 6 questions, I think, as much as I remember. So just trying to explain everything related to your work experience and try to show your interest as much as in the co-op, like you are really interested in the co-op.
So what we should do is we should detail out our points. It should be crisp, not lengthy. It should be crisp. Probably like in a paragraph or 2 you can split your answers and write. Make sure that you deliver whatever you are about to say, so that it makes them, it gives them a confidence that okay, we can take this person in, and it's easy to train him to get into the interview section.
And you have also submitted SOP. You can take points from there.
Yeah,
you will
exactly.
Explain that. So just like to trim it.
So what I would like to tell for future students who are applying for co-op is that it doesn't necessarily mean, it's not mandatory to have a work experience. Even if you are freshers who are applying for co-op, if you have some internship experience or if you have worked on a lot of projects, it's better if you guys explain it out in detail. So probably in your questionnaire you will have experience section where you can drop down about your projects. You can list them, what tools you have learnt, what was your role. So they do consider that as well. So people who are freshers, they don't have to worry that they might not get co-op.
So this is the question for the answer who were asking, like if only we have experience, only then they will get the co-op. So that's not the case. You can get the co-op if you don't have work experience.
Yeah.
Just like try to explain your work you have done in your bachelor's as much as possible.
Yeah.
So when we come in first semester, we have courses co-op. So
Yes.
in that semester they teach us about how to make your resume, your cover letter, how to do that.
Yeah.
So is there something special you done in that semester?
The first thing what they do is ask you to do a mock resume, cover letter, and then they do a mock interview. So in your mock resume and cover letter, they will ask you to choose a job description from the previous year's postings. So what you can do is, if you are industrial or if you are mechanical, try to choose the job description which is more relevant to you. You can try to get in touch with your previous term co-op students, just like I did. Probably like I can say this is what I did, different from someone else.
Yeah.
So I try to get in touch with people who have already got co-op from industry.
I didn't do that. So.
Okay. So that was one, and then I specifically targeted Highbury's position since it was more on warehousing and inventory related stuff. Since I was from the design background and I wanted to move towards the industrial engineering field, I chose Highbury's job post.
Okay.
So when I tried to check in LinkedIn, I happened to get contacts of nearly 2 to 3 people from industrial department who worked with Highbury.
Okay.
Master of Engineering students from India who have worked in Highbury. So from them I happened to know what kind of job responsibilities will be there and what kind of questions will be asked during interviews. This was one. When we come over here to do the resume and cover letter, this is just a dummy thing. We will make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
And we will be called for one-on-one interview where the co-op office
they call it mock
mentors,
interview.
The mock interview, they actually evaluate each and everything. They will look at grammar issues, sentence formation, and how lengthy our resumes are. So all that will be taken care of. So probably what you guys can do is, instead of just sticking to one resume, you can do multiple resumes from different departments, like one from design, one from production, one from quality, something like that.
So these are the different things he done. So in first semester we make resume, cover letter, and one mock interview, I think.
Yeah, one mock
and from second semester we start applying and giving interviews for, like, it's come in like three. You said it was 3.
Yeah.
Like case.
What
first,
do we call it?
then second, then third. We forget the name for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you apply first, like on the university, through university website. They will do everything. You just need to like trim your resume according to that. So in that point, as you have told here, make like 5 to 6 resume according to that. Then you just mold them according to
exactly.
that.
So what you can do is, like, you can make your resumes. I am not 100% sure if the co-op office will be able to help you out with all the resume. They will be able to look into 1 or 2 resumes, but then the office is always open. Like they have like lot of free days apart from the ones we schedule for mock interviews. Every day from 8 to 4 or 9 to 4, I guess, like they will be open. So whenever you are free, you can bring your job posting and your resume which you have worked on and get it corrected from here. So in the first segment or first section, you will have like 3 weeks of job posting. So first week they will announce a set of postings. You will look into the postings. Specifically for your program, there will be a list of companies who would like to recruit co-op students. So they'll give you 1 week time to post all your resumes and cover letters back. So after the first week of postings is done, from the second week they will call you for interviews. So probably what I would suggest you guys to do is, if you have pre-prepared resumes for different job postings, it will be very easy. Once they list down the job postings, immediately jump into it, try to take sentences from your already prepared templates, and you can just mold it quickly.
So now let's move to the interview. So how many interviews you got? I think Highbury was your first.
I think like in total out of the first week of job postings, we had 3 interviews scheduled. One with Canada Post, one with Highbury. The one more was with Syncreon. So the first interview we gave was for Canada Post. So I think like basically they had called almost all of the co-op students who had applied for that position.
And we don't know who they choose.
Yeah, and the question pattern was also the same. It didn't change from one person to another. I was like very nervous since it was my first interview and I had no clue like what kind of questions to expect. I did a little research about the interviewer before I came, attended the interview.
Okay.
I checked his LinkedIn profile and I happened to see the previous year co-op students who got recruited at Canada Post to have a fair idea of what job responsibilities will be. But then it didn't help me much because none of us got the job there at Canada Post.
And he was asking the same question to everyone.
One thing what I found with the Canada Post interview was that we should be very confident of what we are speaking. And sometimes they might come up with situation based questions where you use the STAR technique, which will be taught at co-op office.
Yeah, they will provide a booklet in which all those questions are also included in the interviews.
So in the skills section they had asked about some of the tools what we commonly use. If you are from mechanical or industrial, you will be aware of AutoCAD and Excel and other tools like some 3D modeling tools. So when he asked the question, it was as simple as how would you rank your skill set out of on a scale of 0 to 5. So if you should be very confident of what you are saying. I was not very confident with what I was saying. Like even though I am quite proficient at AutoCAD, when he asked me, I said like I would rate a 4. But then I could see what he is grading me. So when I said 4, he graded me 3. When I said 5, he graded me 4. But with other students after the interview, when I inquired, when they said 3, he gave them a 4. When they said 4, he gave them a 5 or like 4 on 4.
He went with your confidence level.
It's like your confidence level. Be confident of whatever you are saying in any interview.
Yeah, in many of my interviews, they didn't even ask any technical question. Like, it depends on totally interviews. It's going to be different for everyone.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the one in Highbury you got the job. So
okay, so the one with Highbury.
What was the position?
Yeah, I had applied for warehouse operations co-op position.
Okay.
So one more thing, what I wanted to tell you guys is that like once you see the job posting, like for the first week or second week, apply for all the postings for which you are eligible. Because you will have no clue which company will call you for an interview. In the sense, for Highbury there are around 4 postings.
Okay.
One from production, one from warehouse, one from engineering, one from maintenance. So when you see the posting, for almost all the departments the application will be open. But specifically for warehouse, they will always hire industrial engineering students. So you will not know this until you start researching something.
Yeah, he applied for it. I didn't.
Yeah,
I applied for another
exactly.
position, yeah.
So for the engineering co-op, for industrial, both engineering co-op as well as warehouse co-op were open. We applied for both the postings, but then we got calls only for warehousing.
Okay.
So you will never know which company is going to call you for which posting. Like just by reading through the job description, do not try to eliminate, okay, maybe I'm not a good fit for this. Just try to make up your resume according to the job description, submit it, attend the interview. If you get a call, then maybe you can reject it.
Okay.
There is nothing wrong in that. So in Highbury, the questions were very simple. There were no technical questions.
Okay.
It was just myself and another fellow friend of mine from industrial. So the questions were tell me about yourself.
It was going for 2 people at the same time?
Yeah, it was just in a gap of like 5 minutes. So it was.
Yeah.
They always need either a master of student or a bachelor student in industrial engineering. So when we were doing it for the fall 2019 term, it was just myself and another friend of mine. So the questions were simple as tell me about yourself, where you detail about your bachelor's degree, and then you tell about your work experience, and then about your master's degree, and that should do. Then they asked about our hobbies.
Okay.
Some people they ask for our hobbies too. Like if you have any volunteering experience, it's always an added advantage. Okay. People here in Canada, they value volunteer experience very much. So even if you just volunteer for a simple thing at the university, you can tell it out in the interview. That will be good.
And yeah, you never know what they're going to ask. Like when they asked me, like if I give you $1 million, you have to spend it, and you can't say like you want to buy a company or something. You have to spend it in something else.
Exactly.
So like you never know what
Yeah.
what kind of answer they want. Like I
Exactly.
still gave the answer, but I don't know
Get it.
what kind of answer they wanted.
Like
so,
some interviews will be purely technical, some interviews will be purely
Nothing technical, no technical.
attitude based or like behavioral kind of
so
questions.
you never know. Just like you have to be confident. Confidence
Exactly.
is the main thing. In the
Apart from these two questions, I think I had do you drive? Like what kind of sports do you like? Do you watch movies?
So these were simple questions. He just
These
said
were
all the
simple
confidence.
questions to see how your communication skills are.
Okay.
Like
so-
you are working in a Canadian setup, like Canadian industrial setup or something.
Okay.
So you need to make sure that you are able to understand what others are telling you, and you need to be able to communicate things to your managers.
And one more thing, like in many posting they ask for driving license. Some
Exactly,
ask for
yeah.
G2 and G. If you come here, as I always say, try to get your driving license as
Exactly.
soon as possible.
Yeah.
So this will be a main point in co-op too.
Exactly.
And after that you got in hybrid. Like if you got placed in one company, you can't go for the second one. This is the rule of the co-op.
So at the end of your first section of co-op, that is after the first month, they will announce the results.
Yeah.
So once the results are announced, the results go by the ranking system. I hope Naveen would have already
ranking
told about
system
the ranking
is
system.
It's like bit confusing, but you can say they put like in a company, when company people, if he give 3 ranking, you can say the first, second and third to the people who like Priya
Yeah.
got the first and
With
his friend
hybrid.
got the second ranking.
Yeah.
If Priya would have said no for that job, then the person who got the second rank would have got
Would
that
have
job,
got the
but he said yes,
hybrid.
so he didn't.
Yeah.
But he got placed in the another company, so that was
So
also
this
good.
is the reason why I say apply for as many companies as possible. You can keep giving interviews.
And-
The employers will rank you, and
And- finally it will come up to the students.
And then you have to also
You have to
it,
rank,
like, and if both the ranks
ranking will match.
then
Like if hybrid rank him first and he will rank hybrid first, that one match, so
Yeah.
they will get it. But
So
if
they
he
will
ranked
check
it
for
second and he went the first to the another company, then that will
Yeah.
be the another thing. So this is how this works. So you got job in hybrid.
Hybrid,
So
yeah.
now let's talk about that. So how
Hybrid.
much was the pay rate?
yeah. So the pay actually depends on company to company. That is
Okay.
one, and within the company depends on which year of study you are in. That is, if you are in your first year of bachelor's, the pay is 16 for hybrid. I'm saying. So if
Okay.
it's in second year, it's 17. For third year, it's 18. And if you are a master's student, it is 19. So
Okay.
I worked for a pay of $19 an hour.
Okay, that was good.
Yeah.
So what kind of work you think? Was it easy for you, or like
Okay.
it was same as you do in India? It was a bit different. Like what?
It was.
How was the experience working?
It was a really good experience working with Highbury, especially for the warehouse operations positions. Since this was new to me, I was working in the design field, and now I wanted to work in warehousing just to experience how it is, and it was a really nice experience. Like, they gave you the freedom to do. You have a specific set of tasks to do on a daily basis, apart from which you will be doing your project for
Okay.
masters to
Okay.
be submitted to the university.
Also, university also want results from that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you can, do the tasks at your own pace. There will be no one to question you. It's just that at the end of the day, you should have completed all your tasks and you should have reported to your manager. It's
Okay, so
evaluation.
they just gave you a free hand. It's not like they are always buzzing on your head.
No, yeah.
So you can do it whenever you want.
Yeah,
so it
so-
was really good for you.
Exactly.
So did they behave really different with you, or it was like, did they behave differently with you because you are not from Canada, or like
No, it was never
did
like
you
that.
ever feel like that?
Because almost like in 5 previous co-op terms, nearly 3 to 4 of them were Indians.
Okay.
Yeah, the one before me was a Canadian student, Canadian bachelor's degree student.
Okay.
But before those people, it was all Indians. So they are really friendly people in Highbury, like both the supervisor level as well as the manager level. They are like very friendly. So they don't interfere with what you do. They crack jokes. It was really fun to be with those people.
So
See if
basically,
any rodents are
it
there.
was fun working.
Yeah,
there,
it was
so-
fun working there.
So you like the job? It was $19 per hour for
Yeah.
masters. Project you have to submit to the
Yeah.
university. Like
So once you
how
get
did
into
you do
the co-op, actually you will have meeting with your managers on a regular basis.
Okay.
And you will also have one evaluation along with your manager and the co-op team from the university.
Okay.
So probably like 1 or 2 weeks into your work, your manager will discuss what project he has for you. So I did a project on warehouse estimation. When the co-op office comes and checks with the Highbury,
Okay.
they don't see if it's technical, because the co-op people, they don't know whether it's a technical project or it's a non-technical project.
Okay.
At the end of your co-op term, once you are back in your 4th term to the university,
Yeah.
you are supposed to submit a project. That is where they will evaluate whether it's technical or non-technical. So whatever project you do, you can always try to make it technical. Just like how I did, this project was a non-technical project actually.
Okay.
So you just implement whatever you learnt here in class,
Okay.
and then try to make it technical.
So overall, the work experience was really good with the company. So after doing that, you come to the 4th semester, you complete your rest of the 3 courses. Then now he's applying for the field job. You are trying, like, do you think like you will, there are chances of getting full-time in Highbury, like
Full-time
if you
in
try
Highbury, it's a tricky
like
question.
if it's everyone asks for it, like if you do a co-op, is it possible to get a full-time after completing your masters?
Like just to give a heads up, we can't expect the employees to take back 100% for sure.
Okay.
Because if this is about bachelor students, the chances are like 90% plus.
Okay.
Because they do nearly 4 to 5 terms of co-op.
Okay.
Whereas for master students, it's just 1 term of co-op, that is 4 to 5 months.
Okay, so
And as far as we do something which is exceptional, they might not take us back.
Okay.
So in my case with Highbury, I did a pretty good job. Like the manager was really impressed.
Okay.
But unfortunately, he can't give me a call back. So what he told me was, if there are any positions, you can always feel free to apply, and we will definitely consider you for an interview. And then like if the interview goes well, then they might give me a call. But as far as Highbury is concerned, the general practice is that they hire you as a general labor.
Okay.
Only since the
they are now
1 year or so. So they hire as general laborers, and then once you get experience, if you are a co-op student, then it's easy to move up the ladder.
Okay, so now we both are done with our masters. So this was the difference. He done like pretty good, like applying for it, in making his resume and everything. Like he done a pretty good job. That's why maybe he got it. So
it's not just like that. Sometimes it depends on your luck too. So don't feel bad if you're not getting co-op. What I would say is, as much as you are trying to concentrate on your co-op, please try to concentrate on your part-time jobs as well, because compared to co-op, your part-time jobs have a better chance of giving you the NOC B category which you are looking for.
Yeah, in last things come to like getting PR and everything, but like
the only difference for a master students with and without co-op is that at the end of your degree, in your degree certificate, it will say Master of Engineering in Industrial with co-op, and for the non-co-op students, it will say Master of Engineering in Industrial. That's it.
But if you want to go straight to your field and like go in a field, you want to go in a mechanical for sure, you don't want to change it, like want to go to another field, you are not confused about it, co-op is a great option to learn something, a Canadian experience. Now if we're going to apply somewhere, he have a Canadian experience, and who didn't do co-op, he don't have any Canadian experience.
So that's the only edge you have.
For sure he will get some preference there. So that was everything I think related to the co-op. If you guys still have any other question, you can ask me, and I will also put Priya's Instagram handle like in the description if you want to ask him something, and he's one of the topper of our, like you can say, our term.
Yeah, like you can always feel free to ask me questions.
If you want to ask him anything, even related to studies, he was a topper, so you can ask him anything. And so still, guys, I tried related to co-op, many of you were asking, I tried my best. Till it's like 28 minutes videos, I will try to sort it if it's possible. Okay. But
like if you have any queries, you can ask him, like we will try to answer it.
Okay, so but I think we have covered everything.
Okay.
Like, but still, I know there is always some questions, so you can ask Priya or me. You are free to ask, and thank you guys. Please like, share, and do subscribe the channel, and let me know which video you want now. Thank you. Have a good one.